What's going on, guys? Chillisfm here, taking a look at the most underrated and, in my opinion, the best closer in all of the Master League Classic Cup. You guys, I am talking about Garchomp with Dragon Tail, Sand Tomb, and Earth Power on it. The thing about Garchomp with this moveset is it can just ramp up the damage with the combination of Dragon Tail and Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb, of course, dropping your opponent's defense every single time you throw it. So we're going to be jumping on into some of these battles here in just a second, but I want to explain my thinking a little bit on why I think Garchomp is so good as a closer, but never as a lead, because Garchomp, it gets walled by quite a few things, and that's why you don't see it in the current meta. I mean, Zacian is absolutely everywhere, and Garchomp really doesn't do very well against Zacian. Even worse, Togekiss. I mean, everything that my Garchomp can throw is going to be double resisted by Togekiss, so you never want to be paired up against a Togekiss. If you're running it as a lead and the opponent leads in a Togekiss against your Garchomp, then you can fight for switch, but the opponent is not going to be giving it up very easily, and it doesn't really matter how much extra energy you end up with on your Garchomp, you're just never going to be able to take out that Togekiss. However, if you put it as your closer, then you can use something with similar weaknesses, such as your Shadow Lugia, and you can really lure out the Charmers, you can lure out all the fairy types, which is really what Garchomp struggles against, and once those are out of the way, you can just rip through people's back lines. For example, we have a Dialga right here. Dialga, of course, doing super effective damage with all the Dragon Breaths. We're only doing neutral with our Dragon Tails, but we've landed 2 Sand Tombs, and our Dragon Tails were doing more than the Dragon Breaths were doing. It's absolutely disgusting. I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and come back in right with my I almost said Reggie still, Melmetal right here, just to force them to throw that Draco. I go ahead and get off that superpower. It didn't really matter because we're able to just Dragon Tail down. So there's an example of how oppressive these Dragon Tails can get. Let's jump on into the next battle up against a Giratina origin lead. Not necessarily the best lead for this team. We are going to be swapping out into Lugia and just going to go ahead and eat what they throw here. If it was the Shadow Ball, so be it, but instead just the ominous wind bait. They're going to be answering with their own Lugia. I'm going straight for the Aeroblast. Let's see, does this connect? Yes, it does. Puts them into the yellow, about even health with where we are at currently, but they do have more energy. It's going to be very difficult for me to flip switch here, so I'm not really going to try too hard for it. Just going to go ahead and let that Sky Tag go. Come in with my Melmetal and commit to the farm down here. If they get to an Aeroblast, so be it. The Aeroblast will definitely hurt, but I'd rather have energy to be able to throw into that Giratina when it comes back in. So yes, there's the Aeroblast. They don't get the attack boost, and we are able to farm down. Now, I maybe should throw a Rock Slide first, but I do swap out into my Garchomp. They answer with a Ho-Oh, and yes, we're running double ground type moves. We do not have Outrage, so we can't really threaten this Ho-Oh, but they don't know that, and they throw up a shield. We drop their defense with the Sand Tomb, and you can see these Dragon Tails already starting to rip through this Ho-Oh. They go for the Earthquake. I'm going to be over farming and going for the Earth Power here. If they think it's another Sand Tomb bait, they're not going to shield this, and it will KO, and it does KO. So we take out the Ho-Oh. Giratina comes back in. At this point, we can just commit to the farm down. All we have to do is throw up 1 shield. They will only get to 1 charge move. It is the Shadow Ball, so good shield. I don't think it actually takes out Garchomp from that range. Garchomp has some very decent bulk to it, so it's very nice. All right, into the next one. Up against a Ho-Oh lead. Not the best lead for my Melmetal. Despite the fact that we have double super effective Rock Slide, it does not one-shot, and Ho-Oh can actually win this matchup. So we're going to go ahead and throw it. I normally try to catch the Earthquake right here, but for whatever reason, they just get a free Incinerate, and they're able to throw the charge move. I throw up a shield, it's the Brave Bird bait, and then they're going to be coming out with a Zarude, which is perfectly fine by me, because I can actually go for the superpower here, which will either threaten a shield or take out 50% of this Zarude's health. It does connect. We're going to be coming in now with our Shadow Lugia, and the Zarude, of course, can throw Dark Pulse. It's not going to be doing too much. I mean, it does 50%, which to a Shadow Lugia, That's a lot, but at the same time, it's not really threatening, so we don't have to shield it, and now we can throw this Sky Attack to take out this Zarude. They're going to be coming in now with a Dialga, so we do get to see their third mod. We're not going to be able to make it to the Aeroblast, just going to take the chip damage from the Sky Attack, but the Dragon Tails from Shadow Lugia doing enough that with the Sky Attack, Dialga is into the yellow, meaning one superpower will KO. So I do go ahead and throw the superpower immediately. They get off an Iron Head here. I know I'll survive it. It's definitely not going to be a Draco. So now we can throw this superpower. Let's see if they want to give up their shield. They do not. Now I can come in with Garchomp. All they have left is this Ho-Oh, but this time we only have one shield, so it's a little bit more tricky. We're going to be going immediately for this Sandtomb, not even going to bother with baiting. Of course, they do not shield, and now they're going to be throwing. I know they don't want to drop their defense. It's going to be the Earthquake. We make the call, just the Earthquake. We easily tank it, and now we are at the next Sandtomb. Of course, this still won't do much. They're probably going to use their final shield, but actually my opponent knows this game is over, and they let it go through. So GG's, well played to my opponent. All right. Moving into the next one, I'm going to grab a little bit of water. Up against a Landorus lead, definitely a core breaker for this team. I really didn't know what to do here, so I farm up a lot of energy and I try to catch the superpower. Instead, I'm going to be catching the Stone Edge, excuse me. So, Stone Edge does big damage. I'm going straight for the Sky Attack. Unfortunately, they do easily make it to another Stone Edge. Since I did click on my Sky Attack, I am going to go ahead and throw up a shield, knowing the Sky Attack will be putting them in farm down range if it connects. So they do have to give up a shield right there. And then are they going to throw another Stone Edge to take out Lugia? No, they're going to be swapping out into Dialga. I'm not going to make it to the Aeroblast. Great plays by my opponents so far. Honestly, like they've played this perfectly so far. But still, able to connect with the Sky Attack, puts the Dialga into superpower range, so I'm going to just immediately throw it. I don't really want to have to eat an Iron Head. No reason for me to overfarm anyways. I'm at basically 100 energy, so I'm going to be ready to swap out into my Garchomp. Our switch clocks are misaligned, so now this Landorus is locked into this matchup, and they're going to have to throw some of their energy. The first one is a Stone Edge bait, so interesting play, baiting with the more expensive move, but they didn't want to drop their defense, so I get it. Now they're going for the superpower. They're able to swap out Zacian in the back, and you might have noticed this team doesn't have a great answer for Zacian, but we can connect with this Earth Power, puts them into the yellow, and now they do have to throw. Otherwise, I will make it to the Sandtomb, which would threaten that final shield off them. So they do have to throw the play rough, or they're actually running close combat. So they're running double nukes, dropping their defense. I'm going to go ahead and shield up this next close combat. Yes, Melmetal can tank one close combat, but not with a lot of health remaining. So now we're going to build up to the back-to-back superpowers, or just about. Throw the first one to get the shield, throw the second one to take out this Zacian. All they have left now is this Landorus. Can I take out Landorus with Melmetal? The race is on. I make it to the superpower, but I go for the Rock Slide, and they make it to their own superpower. So this was a misplay by me. I did check the sims after superpower. Even though I'd already dropped my attack by 2 stages, it would still do 17% to that Landorus. I think it would have been enough to KO. So that game was actually winnable. Just a little bit of a misplay on my part. All right. Into the next one, up against Zacian lead. So yes, definitely a tough lead. I do swap out into my Lugia. Lugia actually can win that, just kind of depending on how they played it, it's possible. But regardless, they swap out into their own Lugia. I'm going to connect with the Aeroblast, not going to be able to flip switch. And really switch wouldn't do much for me anyways, because we need shields for that Zacian. So we're going to be coming back in with Melmetal. Again, just going to commit to the farm down. I really don't care what this Lugia throws at me. It is the Aeroblast on the first one, and they get the attack boost, which is not great because they will be able to reach another Sky Attack. Still, the Sky Attack is not going to be lethal. I am not going to use a shield right here. Just committing to the farm down here. We do get the farm down. We have back-to-back Rock Slides ready to go. I'm ready to throw them. Is Zacian coming back in? Let's see what it is. Actually going to be a Zarude. So my opponent was expecting me to go blind Rock Slide or maybe even blind flash cannon, because there are a lot of Melmetals running flash cannon right now. Instead, I'm able to connect with the superpower coming in now with my Garchomp. Going to have to hit this power whip, but we have 2 shields to face off against this Zacian with. So I'm going straight for the earth power, knowing that they are not likely to shield it because a lot of Garchomps, they're going to be running Sand Tomb and Outrage. I'm not running that. I'm going to be running the earth power just to help out with this matchup, along with a few other matchups. And again, they are running close combat wild charge. Now we can go for the Sand Tomb. This will be lethal from this range, so they do have to give up a shield to a Sand Tomb, which just feels so good. Now I can go ahead and shield up this next close combat. They will be 4 stages debuffed on their defense, or I guess 3 stages. I try to farm down with Melmetal. That's a very aggressive play. Maybe not the best. They do get to another close combat, but at this point, my Garchomp is just primed to finish out this game. We're able to farm down the Zarude. All they have left is Zacian with 1 HP, and they back out. All right, let's move into the next one. Up against another Zacian lead. Going to be playing this one a little bit differently. Actually going to be staying in this time and trying to land the Rock Slide just after they close combat. So I waited till they built 2 back-to-back close combats, and that's when I threw the first Rock Slide. However, this one was ready to farm up all the way to 100 energy, so they didn't throw it at first. After I CMP'd, they did decide to throw, and then I shielded up. I'm going to be swapping out into my Lugia. They do answer with the Dialga. I can make it to the Aeroblast here to potentially threaten a shield, as long as this is not a Thunder or a Draco. It's not, it's an Iron Head. So we're going to be able to get off this Aeroblast. If this connects, we will be able to flip switch. How do they want to play it? They're going to let it go through. So we do flip switch here. But unfortunately, that's not that great for us because, again, we need energy and shields to be able to deal with this Zacian. So we do get the Sky Attack off. It will be doing some nice chip damage, putting them... Okay, so they actually do throw up a shield right there. Either way, it would have put them into Rock Slide range. Now they are just outside Rock Slide range. So I'm going to be coming in with my Melmetal. They do blind throw the close combat here. And I'm like, you know what? Melmetal can tank one. We're going to go ahead and tank it. We did CMP them. They will have to give up their second shield if they want to keep this Zacian alive. And they do decide to give up the second shield. So a little bit unfortunate for me. At this point, I'm going to put all my faith in my Garchomp, knowing that they are debuffing themselves again right there with the close combat. Close combat is a double defense drop. So they were 4 stages defense drop before, 4 stages defense dropped here as well. I'm going to be shielding up the close combat. They're going to be coming out with a Mewtwo, and I'm going to be going straight for the earth power, but they CMP time me. So I'm like, oh man, I might not have, like, this might not be the right time to throw this earth power. I'm going to undercharge and just try to Dragon Tail down. Am I going to be able to Dragon Tail down this Mewtwo? Yes, perfect undercharge. We're almost at the Sand Tomb. We make it to the Sand Tomb. Is this enough to KO this Zacian? Can Garchomp close it out against the Zacian? Not quite enough. Come on, Dragon Tails, take him out. And they survive with 1 HP, going to be able to take out my Garchomp. So very close battle, almost able to clutch it out. My opponent really wanted to show their Zacian. They did recognize that it was pretty tough for my team to deal with, and that's what got them the win. All right, into the next one, up against another Giratina Origin. Tough lead is what it is. Going to be answering with my goodness gracious, my Lugia. I almost said ho for some reason. Guys, it's late here. It's like almost my bedtime. But I wanted to knock out this video, get it out for y'all. I know, again, I'm a little bit late on the video uploads, but I'm trying to get them out, guys. So anyways, Lugia comes in to answer for Lugia. We're going to be coming out with our Melmetal. Again, this team's working as it's intended. We're luring out the Lugia, which would be very tough for my Garchomp to deal with. And now I'm not going to be able to farm this one down. It's a little bit too aggressive, so we're going to go for the Rock Slide. I try to undercharge right here, but it actually still KOs Lugia, which I was surprised. Lugia is very tanky. Is what it is. It's fine. I'm ready to swap out for that Giratina, and in the back they have a Groudon. So again, we're just going to bully my opponent. They're not going to want to shield these Sand Tombs, but we're going to just keep throwing them. So here's the first one. It does connect, of course. They're already in the yellow, and I'm at the next Sand Tomb now. They likely bait right here, but I do throw up a shield. It is the Fire Punch bait. That's fine. I can overfarm. Or actually, I'm just going to commit to the farm down now. I recognize they're not going to be able to make 2-3 moves. It is the Earthquake on that one. And yes, we're able to farm down this Groudon. They still have 2 shields, but we're just going to keep on bullying. We're just going to keep throwing these Sand Tombs. They got to use their shields at some point. Able to make it to another Sand Tomb against this Giratina. At this point, the Giratina's defense is dropped by 2 stages. We can swap out into Melmetal. This Rock Slide will be plenty to KO. And that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent, guys. I'm telling y'all, Garchomp as a closer, absolutely ridiculous. I don't know that this is necessarily the strongest team for it. I went 13-12 on the day, so it was a pretty even day. But man, Garchomp was the one putting in work for sure. So I do recommend investing in one, using it in the back. And if it's not good here, then it's going to be good in the Master League Premier Classic whenever that comes around for the next time. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank y'all all for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, this is Chillisfm reminding you to always keep pushing forward.